Hey, Coach. Yesterday's scrimmage seemed like a dominating performance for the cornerbacks. What was your grade of your group's performance? What do you think you guys did well yesterday?
We took advantage of the opportunities that came to us, competed, rallied to the ball. Played hard, played fast, played together. And that's what Coach Dicker constantly talks about, and that's basically all we did, man. We didn't. We're going to try to compete every play, and take advantage of the opportunities that come, and try to make sure that guys know that we're next to them. So, we did what we were supposed to do, but if I want to sit here and tell you that we played a perfect game, that was definitely not a perfect one. There's a lot that we have to improve on, and there's a lot of guys that are still competing for spots. So we're going to keep improving day by day.
And did you see that energy from yesterday sort of carry over into today's practice for the cornerbacks?
Well, yeah, and that's something that we're going to continuously build on. We try to relay ourselves as a brotherhood. Guys that want to play together. More importantly, seeing the guy next to you make a play, are you genuinely excited for him as you are for yourself? So the guys are constantly learning how to do that and continuously growing towards that. So, we've been pleased with that, but it goes to the same thing. When we had a young man take a test and he sent the group text and said he got an A, and everybody loved it. It's for on and off the field. It's not just about when we make a big time interception or something. It's about everything we do in life because we want to be brothers for life.
And Shaw Smith Wade is a name we've heard a lot throughout camp. What can you say about his performance so far, and how much do you see him being out there on the field for you guys?
And I've been seeing a lot about Shaw Smith Wade being posted. I ain't seen Shaw Smith Wade at all. No, I'm playing. He's a great kid. He tries to do the right thing. The best thing that makes Shaw is that he competes. He wants to be on this level. He wants to play at this level, and he sees himself as a big time player, which is great. Not saying that other guys don't, but just the maturity level that he's had to endure growing up and things like that has allowed him to be at a more of accelerated pace than most freshmen. But to be honest with you, he hasn't played a single down in the Pac-12. And so for him, he's got to continuously grow. We love the way he competes, the way he flies to the ball. But we all know that when those lights are on, it's a completely different deal. He's going against guys that are trying to make it to the next level. And just like our guys are too. But it's different when you're going in practice and you're seeing the majority of the same things over and over again compared to the speed of the game on game day. So it'll be a growth. We'll be feeding him some, but to just deem him as the great future corner, I can't say that yet, but he's definitely competing and making some plays out there.
Thank you.
All right, Theo from the Spokesman Review. Go ahead, Theo.
Yeah, can you talk about the recruiting process with Shaw Smith Wade? And he was obviously committed to you guys at Wyoming, and just talk about how you guys kind of found him over there in Chicago and sticking with him after he was committed to Wyoming, and obviously bringing him to Washington State with you guys.
Well, that was definitely a unique situation. It was a situation where recruited Shaw since his junior year at Wyoming. Had a genuine relationship there. Came on a visit in the whole nine, and watched the previous staff offered him, right before signing day. And I wasn't here, so I was like, man, come on. He was committed, and, and we all knew the type of caliber kid he is and the type of player he could be. And the way it worked out here was, Rolla got the job, and bang, bang, boom, I'm looking at him on a recruiting visit here too. So, it was a unique situation, definitely something I've never been a part of in my life, but it worked out great because he's a great young man. But, this relationship with me and him is going back, 2 to 3 years now, so for us, it's kind of that clicking factor as far as I know who he is in and out, and he knows who I am, so it worked out great. He's a talented football player, and it worked out great for us to have him here.
Do you guys have some connections in the Chicago area? Because obviously Washington State doesn't recruit the state of Illinois a lot, and Chicago. And do you know a lot of people at that Simeon Academy over there? It's obviously a pretty big basketball.
At the previous location I was at, and even at North Dakota State back in the day, we recruited the state of Illinois heavy. So naturally you start to build ties and things like that. Of course, geography has a lot about where you recruit, but for us to sit here and say that we're not going to recruit guys all across the nation would be a false impulse. But we're going to try to take close look at home, take care of home base first. But we have a lot of ties there. We're going to definitely listen to the guys that we have, high school coaches and things like that, continue to mold those relationships. But we're going to build off of the relationships that we have. But like I said, our focus is making sure we take care of the home state first and then branch out from there.
Do you think Shaw's toughness kind of comes from being from Chicago? I mean, obviously that's kind of one of the qualities that people from Chicago are kind of connected with.
Well, long and behold, he's actually from Colorado, and so he ended up moving out there. It's a unique story that you guys should probably ask him about. But yeah, he's originally from Colorado, so but he went out there to work to improve his recruiting and things like that. So he's a unique kid. He had to grow up pretty fast, moving and things like that, and it just shows what it took for him to even get here. Get to this situation and being able to be at a Pac-12 school. What's unique about it is that I told him when I was recruiting him at Wyoming that I seen him as a Power 5 player. And at the time he didn't really have all those offers or guys that were really looking at him tough. And when we got here, I told him what I seen him as, and he ended up working. And long and behold, that's what everybody else has seen him at as well. But he's a testament to his mom. His mom set the foundation for him, raised a phenomenal young man, and he's wise above his age. It's just got to grow him up on the field to see those live pictures. But, we're all excited about it.
All right, Zach from Kook Fan. Go ahead, Zach.
Yeah, Coach, another guy I'm curious about his performance in camp so far is George Hicks. What have you seen from him in yesterday's scrimmage and just so far in your experience with him?
Yeah, constant improvement. George is the wise one in the group. He's been around the Pac-12 the longest. We rely on his expertise. He's seen a lot of pictures. He's seen so many different formations and so many different route combinations. He gives you another coach in the room, a guy that you can lean on to. If a guy's not understanding the best that I'm explaining it, you can lean on him to kind of reiterate things. But also, too, you get a guy who's bought in, and George wants to be good. He wants to be great. And he wants to improve, and that's all you can ask for in a kid that's been here the longest is a guy that wants to be bought in and continuously develop and continuously listen to the coaching and take coaching. And for George, he's had different position coaches, so he's been through multiple different techniques, and for him, it's about hanging his hat on things. But George is improving, making more and more plays, and being detailed is one of the things I told him. I'm going to basically put a hard line on him as far as he's got to play like the veteran out there, and he's accepting that responsibility. And George is a great kid. Another kid I had the opportunity to recruit too. So, it's amazing how that comes forward. But, he's a great kid. He's continuously improving. He's not settling, for what he's done in the past. He wants to improve on what he's done.
All right, any other questions for Coach Richardson? All right, Theo, go ahead.
Yeah, where do you think the cornerback group needs to kind of improve the most after watching film from last season? That they obviously got criticized a little bit for kind of their play. So what are you guys trying to do with them to kind of improve that this coming season?
Well, this coming season is focusing on the details. Our defenses are bend but don't break. Stay on top of the deep ball, prevent explosive plays. That's our number one goal this year. Rally up and tackle, be a physical group. We want to tackle well and we want to stay on top of the deep ball. Those are the two things that I've been harping on so far right now. And that's my goal, is just continue to harp on those things. And as we grow as a defense, as we go as a unit, just make sure we take care of the details. If we do that, we're able to keep a lot of points off the board. Busted coverages is something that we can't have. And the thing is, I told those guys I'm going to judge them off of when we get on the practice field from that point forward. What happened in the past is what happened in the past, but let's move forward from this point on, and so those are the things that we've been focusing on as a group. But more importantly, like I mentioned before, is being a brotherhood. It's no egos in that room. We got a bunch of guys that want to play, and we want to see each other play well. And if we got a group that want to push each other to that limit, then we'll be all right.
And Bobby mentioned you are the recruiting coordinator at Washington State. Can you just talk about the challenges of recruiting since March without any official visits, and you might have to sign an entire class without any of those guys being on campus at all?
This is the most unique recruiting year I've ever experienced. The most unique interview I've ever done as well. I'm not even seeing you guys right now. So it's a unique year. We have to adjust and we have to adapt, and the ones that do it the best will be the best later on, and that's what we're trying to do as a staff, is just adjust to the things that are thrown at us. A lot of recruiting is by phone, FaceTime, and things like that. But, more importantly, when these kids are getting senior seasons, we're going to take a hard look into them, and holding on to these guys. It's definitely hard not getting live evaluations. This is a new thing that we have to do. But this is where we're at. It's either complain about it or you're going to keep moving forward. And that's what we're going to do. We're going to keep moving forward. We're going to evaluate tape, more and more and keep continuously doing that. But we have a good foundation of guys that are committed right now. And we like some things that we're seeing out of the group. So the leadership characteristics is so far has been there with those guys, and we'll touch base on that more. But we like where we are right now, but we're not done yet. They're not signed, so we got to continue to go.
All right, we have time for one more for Coach Richardson. Last chance for Coach Richardson. All right, Carson Brown from the student paper, the Daily Evergreen.
Hey, Coach, I was just wondering which defensive back has kind of stepped up and taken like a leadership role during fall camp?
They all are unique. I'm going to be quite frank with you. They all have their unique roles, and we talked about that, and they understand it. As far as a leader in the room, George has the most experience. He's been out there the most. He understanding the schemes and different things like that. He's probably the best at it, but there is no overall quote unquote alpha male in the room. We're going to do this as a group. We're going to do this as a unit. There's going to be all of us in our unique roles in doing those things, and those will play out throughout the season as far as how they'll be used uniquely and things like that. But, I haven't seen them play a game yet live. So to be honest with you, man, we're going to do this as a group. And the guys that are out there, they're all going to we know they're going to play together, and they're going to play with each other out there on the field, not only just the corner group, but everybody else from that defense that's on the field. So that's how this group is going to be manufactured this spring, this unique 7-game season that we have. And when I get my hands on them again in the spring and going into fall camp, I'll probably have a better picture on who arises as that alpha male. But a lot of Zoom meetings can't really get that detailed in it. And I've had so many practices so far too. I don't really know who's emerging. So we'll see a bunch of guys out there. And the guys that I'm expecting to all make plays, and we talk about roles and things like that, but I'm expecting guys to step up. And when they're out there on the field, whoever that is, when they're out there on the field, we expect production. And the guys that are off the field, they're going to be paying attention, and they're going to be encouraging their teammates. So, this is a great season for us to see what we really have. Because to be quite frankly, man, we've had limited live work to see what guys can really do in live situations. And the thing is, it's hard to judge a kid off of previous things because that's a completely different scheme. That's completely different makeup of a defense. So, we're going to see how this season goes. We're going to play together, and we're going to play hard, and we're going to play fast. That's what we're going to do.